very intimidating book. It is larger than most books that you would choose to read or buy, and the language is difficult. You probably will read a couple paragraphs and decide it's not for you. But I'm going to help you decipher this book in this brief video. My name is Kathleen Bartlett, and I'm your ENC 1102 instructor. Welcome to Reading About Literature. So on page 13, if you've got your book and you want to follow along, I'm going to hit some of the key ideas that you should get out of these first 2 pages of reading. Page 13 talks about the imagination. And I know you've got a good imagination. I know that you can bring creative ideas to what you read. And the bottom of page 13 says, active readers use their imagination. Wonder what's going to happen next. Wonder who the good guys are. Wonder who the bad guys are. Wonder what the conflict is. Ask those questions as you read. You'll remember more and you'll tune your reading skills that will help you in all kinds of reading, not just in this class. Page 14, turn that page over if you've got your book handy, talks about the importance of the author and the reader in creating meaning in a text. You might think the author has a certain control, but you as the reader have just as much control. You bring all your experiences to that thing that you are reading. Does everybody like the same movies? No. Does everybody like the same books? No. Because we are different in our composition, our age, our culture, our gender, our level of education. And just the things that we like, our hobbies and our personalities, make us like different things. So literature has many meanings that are based upon the reader interacting with the text. So your job is to interact. What's the author's job? Take a look with me over here for a minute if you can. These are the elements of literature. You have these as assignments in this course. You will look these up. These are your literary terms. It's how we talk about a text. So you need to know these words for your essays and for your quizzes. What are these elements? Plot, character, setting, conflict, point of view. Well, they're all the same things you see in a movie. And so you look those up, think of what you know about how movies are developed, and apply them to the way literature is developed. They're made up of diction and syntax. That means words and the way they're arranged. They include figurative language, lofty language that elevates meaning. And we'll learn about those metaphors and similes and symbols. Those are all going to be on your terms list. These we call the elements of fiction. And they build the theme, the meaning, the so what, the message the author sends, and that you, as the reader, accept. All right, let's take a look at one other thing in your book, this time on page 15. There's an example short story there by an author called Kate Chopin. Interesting lady. Do you know when her works were first published, they were banned in the libraries? The libraries took them off the shelves. They were so controversial that a woman dared to talk about such things as relationships where perhaps the woman was not happy, where perhaps she wanted something more. That was a scandal back in the 1800s when she was writing. Now, we're not going to look at the whole story. I hope you'll take the time to read it. But what I thought you might want to look at is the first line with me on page 15. Knowing that Mrs. Mallard was afflicted with a heart trouble, great care was taken to break to her as gently as possible the news of her husband's death. Your imagination is required, ladies and gentlemen. Why did her husband die? How is his death going to affect her heart condition? One more quick thing. Page 17. Your authors have taken this story, which is a very short story. It takes place in only 1 hour. And they break it apart in the margin. This is called annotated text. It gives you interpretation and helps you see all these little elements that create that story. So take the time to read through those. We'll be walking through a few other elements of this text. I'll help you with a short story and a poem in separate videos. But I wanted you to note that the second chapter, chapter 2, talks about writing about literature. And when you get to that chapter, which is another part of your assigned reading, start thinking of your writing process. How do you write? What do you like to write about? And how are you going to succeed as a writer and a reader in this class? All right, that's all for now. See you next video, and I'll meet you in the discussion board. Bye. Hello students, I'm Kathleen Bartlett. Welcome to ENC 1102. We are going to study some literature together, and we're going to write about that literature, and I hope that you will feel free to contact me via email anytime you have questions or concerns about the class. I'm here to help you. However, I do have strict standards. I expect quality work, well-edited work, on-time work, and original work. If you follow those simple rules, we're going to get along fine. Again, this is ENC 1102, Section 05Z. I'm Kathleen Bartlett, but you can call me Kat Bartlett, you can call me Miss Bartlett, but just don't call me teacher, all right? And reading and writing about literature is our topic. So I'm going to be making a couple of short videos to help you feel like we've really got a connection and to give you some key points, because I know we've got a big book and a lot to read. And maybe this is a new experience for you. So take time to watch the videos. And again, email me if you have any questions using the Angel email account. I look forward to seeing you in the discussion boards. Thanks. Bye.